Welcome to the Tech Unstripped. Today, we're shifting gears and diving into the incredible technology that's transforming our vehicles. Look at the car you drive today, or maybe the one you're dreaming of. Well, it's about to be radically different from anything we've known before. We're really talking about the biggest transformation in the automotive world since Henry Ford started rolling cars off assembly lines a century ago. Today, our mission is to cut through all the noise and unstrip today's cars. We want to understand what innovations are truly driving this new automotive revolution in 2025 and beyond, because let's be honest, that a vehicle isn't just a metal box on four wheels anymore, is it? It's rapidly evolving into something, well, much more like a smartphone or maybe a powerful computer on wheels, connected and constantly evolving.
That's absolutely right. And what's truly fascinating here is that this isn't just a technological leap. It's profoundly triggered by shifting societal demands, too. We're seeing a future of mobility emerge that's hyper-focused on solutions that are, accessible, flexible, highly individualized, and sort of seamlessly integrated into our lives. It's really about a fundamental rewiring of our relationship with transport, from ownership to experience, from a product to, a service. That's the real here-to-stay impact of this.
Okay, so let's start with a broad stroke then. What are the big innovative ideas and technologies that are fundamentally reshaping this entire industry right now?
Well, at a high level, it's a powerful combination. You got technologies like AI, additive manufacturing, 3D printing, basically, which is radically changing how parts are designed and produced. It allows for these complex, lightweight components we couldn't have even dreamed of just a few years back, right? Then there's the Internet of Things, IoT, and 5G. These aren't just buzzwords anymore. They've become immense sources of both product innovation and manufacturing efficiency. And this convergence is leading to, truly revolutionary changes in the customer experience right across the board. It would connect this to the bigger picture. The key long-term trends reshaping the automotive industry are things like electrification, self-driving capabilities, connectivity everywhere, a big drive towards sustainability, mobility as a service, or MaaS, of course, ever-advancing safety features. These aren't fads.
Oh, okay.
They're really the new
I'm going to
bedrock
fast forward a bit, specifically to 2025. Where are these shifts most acutely felt? Is the electric car revolution still accelerating full throttle, or are there maybe some unexpected curbs in the road ahead?
That's a great question, actually, because the narrative around electric vehicles, EVs, it's getting a bit more nuanced now. The worldwide shift to EVs and also hybrid electric vehicles, HEVs, that's been a dominant trend, no doubt, largely driven by environmental concerns and, the appeal of cleaner, zero-emission tech. We're also seeing incredible advancements in the battery technology itself. Solid-state batteries, for instance, they're emerging as a potential game changer. They promise things like higher energy density, improved safety, greater stability, and potentially lower costs than the traditional lithium-ion batteries we use now.
So solid-state batteries sound like a huge breakthrough, like all green lights ahead, right? But you also mentioned an EV slowdown for 2025. That feels like a bit of a contradiction. What's the real story behind that dip?
You've hit on a critical point there. Yeah. Despite the optimistic long-term forecasts, 2025 is indeed expected to be marked by something of an EV slowdown.
And this isn't just a little bump in the road. It feels more like a strategic inflection point for the industry. It seems to be caused by a sort of perfect storm of factors. Ongoing trade tensions, particularly between China and the West, fierce competition, especially from Chinese EV manufacturers who are incredibly agile, right? They move fast. They really do. Plus, persistent infrastructure challenges, like where are all the fast, reliable charging stations? Ongoing supply chain issues, which we can dig into more, and the stubbornly high manufacturing and customer costs of electric vehicles. It all adds up.
That's significant. So, given that EV slowdown, are we going to see maybe a permanent reprioritization of hybrid technology by the major manufacturers? Or is this just a tactical retreat before a stronger all-electric push later on? And how are these Chinese competitors you mentioned changing the fundamental game plan for everyone else?
It's definitely looking like more than just a tactical retreat. As a direct result of these challenges, many automotive manufacturers are expected to pivot, putting more resources back into producing hybrid models. Hybrids, well, they're cheaper to produce. They're more adaptable for consumers who might have range anxiety. They still offer a significant reduction in carbon emissions compared to traditional gasoline cars. And crucially, they don't require that same extensive, immediate charging infrastructure build-out. That's a big one. As for the competition, what's truly astonishing is the rise of Chinese EV manufacturers. China isn't just the leading producer anymore. In 2025, they're actually expected to market more EVs globally than traditional combustion engine vehicles.
Wow. More EVs than gasoline cars from China alone.
Globally, yeah. That's a monumental shift in market dominance. Really changes the landscape.
That is a staggering milestone. So, okay, if electrification is changing how cars are powered, what about the brain of the car? It seems like vehicles are becoming less about the engine under the hood and more about the lines of code running them. Are software-defined vehicles, SDVs, truly the new frontier?
Oh, absolutely. SDVs are the frontier because they fundamentally redefine what a car is. Think of them as vehicles where virtually all operations, from braking and driving dynamics to steering, even infotainment, are controlled and, importantly, enhanced by software. The game changer here is the need for regular over-the-air software updates, just like your smartphone gets a new OS or app update.
Right, so your car could actually get better after you buy it.
Exactly. Suddenly, your car can brake smarter, navigate better, or maybe even gain entirely new features you didn't pay for initially. That continuous evolution, it changed everything about vehicle ownership. It even opens up new revenue streams for manufacturers through subscriptions or feature unlocks.
And this whole concept, SDVs, that was a massive conversation at the recent Consumer Electronics Show, wasn't it? That buzz really highlights how quickly this idea is taking hold.
It did, and for good reason. A really concrete example of this accelerated transition is Honda's recent partnership with Amazon Web Services, AWS. This collaboration is specifically designed to improve their data collection and streamline software updates, which directly speeds up the development and rollout of their SDVs. It's a clear signal that the industry is rapidly moving towards this dynamic, adaptable vehicle future.
Okay, so from software that runs the car to software that, drives it for us. Let's talk about self-driving vehicles. A lot of people hear self-driving and picture fully autonomous cars just everywhere. Where are we really on that road to autonomy right now?
That's a common misconception, yeah. Yeah, the current stage of autonomous vehicles is still, relatively speaking, early in development. When we talk about the SAE levels of driving automation, level 0 to 5, What we primarily see available today are level 3 systems, that's conditional automation, where the driver still needs to be ready to take back control. And maybe some very limited level 4 vehicles offering high driving automation, but typically only in very specific, often geofenced regions like certain city centers or campuses. Fully autonomous driving, level 5, where the car handles all conditions without any human input needed, that's still several years away. However, the key thing for 2025 and beyond is that the technology is expected to be very actively developed and robustly tested. This will lead to an increasing number of autonomous features in cars and more of those level 3 and limited level 4 cars appearing on the roads in those specific approved zones. And AI, artificial intelligence, is truly the brainpower behind these advancements, particularly in what we call Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, or ADIS.
Right, the safety features we're starting to see more of.
Exactly. These are the intelligent features you might already be familiar with, like adaptive cruise control that paces the car ahead, lane keeping assist, automatic emergency braking. AI algorithms are constantly analyzing data from various sensors, cameras, radar, LiDAR, to perceive the environment around the vehicle, process that information in real time, and then either assist the driver or sometimes intervene to prevent accidents.
So while full autonomy is still a bit further out, the underlying AI is definitely making our cars smarter and safer every single day, incrementally. Okay. Now, turning to alternative fuels, is there a greener path beyond just batteries? Because for a long time, the conversation felt like it was exclusively about electrification.
There absolutely is, and it's gaining traction. E-fuels are a newer trend, and they present a fascinating, maybe somewhat conflicting approach compared to full electrification for the many fuel-driven cars still on the road, and potentially for industries or manufacturers who prefer not to use batteries for various reasons, maybe weight or energy density for heavy transport. E-fuels offer a greener alternative to traditional fossil fuels.
How do they work exactly?
Well, essentially, they're produced by synthesizing CO2 emissions, capturing CO2 from the air or industrial processes, and combining it with hydrogen produced using renewable CO2-free electricity. So you get synthetic fuels like e-kerosene for aviation, e-methane or e-methanol. And this concept is gaining significant regulatory traction too, which is interesting. The European Commission, for instance, has agreed to allow cars running exclusively on e-fuels to be sold even after the 2035 phase-out date for combustion engines, if they can demonstrate absolutely no climate impact over their life cycle. That's a big if, but it keeps the door open. So in 2025, we expect to see further developments in their production methods, increased testing in real-world scenarios, and probably growing investment in this alternative fuel pathway. Yeah, it definitely adds an interesting dimension to the sustainability debate beyond just batteries.
Yeah. That's a truly nuanced development, especially as the world pushes for more sustainable options across the board. Okay, finally, let's talk about an ongoing headache for many industries, and particularly for automotive supply chain issues. Are they here to stay, or are we finally seeing some light at the end of that tunnel?
Unfortunately, they seem very much here to stay for the foreseeable future. The automotive industry has been one of the most severely affected by supply chain disruptions, and that uncertainty and instability are expected to persist well into 2025, maybe even beyond. There's kind of a perfect storm of contributing factors again. Persistent talent shortages. For one, high employee turnover creates gaps in skilled labor, which is crucial. Then there's the massive industry shift itself towards EVs and all these advanced features. This creates a significant gap between the demand and the supply for critical components like semiconductors and batteries.
The chip shortage hasn't fully gone away then.
Not entirely. And battery materials are another bottleneck. Plus, there's the continued reliance on complex global supply chains. Their vulnerabilities were starkly revealed by the COVID-19 pandemic, right? That's leading many auto manufacturers to seriously consider relocating production, bringing it closer to home, or nearshoring. And on top of all that, you still have geopolitical tensions simmering, which can disrupt things overnight.
So what are companies doing about it?
Well, auto manufacturers and the OEMs, the original equipment manufacturers who make the parts, they're actively taking measures. They're investing heavily in automation to reduce labor dependency. They're trying to diversify their suppliers so they're not reliant on just one source or region. They're looking at localizing production where it makes sense, and even stockpiling critical components, though that has its own costs and risks. But honestly, overcoming these complex, interconnected challenges takes a lot of time and sustained effort. So yes, they're likely to remain a significant factor impacting production levels and vehicle availability in 2020.
Okay, so we've covered those big five transformations: EVs and hybrids, SDVs, autonomy, e-fuels, and supply chains. But what other technologies are truly forging ahead, maybe operating a bit more behind the scenes, but really enabling this massive shift in the automotive world? What's the sort of ecosystem of innovation that makes all this possible?
That's a great question, because it really is an ecosystem. First off, connected vehicles and 5G are absolute game changers. Imagine your car not just driving you, but constantly talking to everything around it. Other cars, traffic lights, road sensors. That's vehicle to everything, or V2X communication.
Making the whole traffic system smarter.
Exactly. And 5G is the enabler here. It facilitates this with lightning-fast data transmission, massive bandwidth to handle all that data, and improved security, all leading to enhanced traffic safety and a much smarter, more responsive driving experience.
Then there's
overall.
in-vehicle infotainment. I mean, these systems have evolved so far beyond just playing music or basic navigation, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The screens just keep getting bigger. They do. And they now seamlessly connect with your smartphone, tap into the car's own sensors, and integrate deeply with those advanced driver assistance systems we talked about. Future trends here are all about robust cybersecurity, which is critical as cars get more connected. Incredibly intelligent AI integration with voice recognition so your car understands natural language much better. And yeah, those massive high-resolution displays that basically transform the cabin into a truly immersive digital hub. Advanced safety features also remain a huge, non-negotiable trend. This is driven by both consumer demand, people want safer cars, and by strict new regulations. For example, the EU's updated General Safety Regulation, the GSR, which kicked in from 2024, is making features like more sophisticated ADAS, enhanced crash test standards, better pedestrian cyclist protection systems, intelligent speed assistance, and even event data recorders like black boxes compulsory in new vehicles.
So safety is becoming standardized at a higher level.
Precisely. It means every new vehicle is becoming inherently safer, which fundamentally changes crash dynamics and the potential for intervention before a crash happens. And we can't forget mobility as a service, or MaaS. This is a rapidly growing concept, offering a popular, convenient, and often more cost-effective alternative to actually owning a car, especially in cities. MaaS integrates all sorts of diverse transportation, meaning public transport, ride sharing like Uber or Lyft, micromobility like e-scooters or bikes, even short-term car leases into a single, usually app-based platform.
Making it easy to plan and pay for a whole journey.
Exactly. Yeah. Its growth is really fueled by the sheer variety of options it provides, and again, the increased connectivity from 5G and 4G LTE networks, allowing for that seamless booking and payment. 3D printing, additive manufacturing, it's also really revolutionizing how cars are actually made. This isn't just for prototypes anymore like it used to be. It allows for faster, cheaper production of incredibly complex, often lightweight vehicle parts. And it enables rapid prototyping directly on the factory floor. This drastically speeds up the whole design to production cycle, allowing for more innovation faster.
Iteration, yeah.
Definitely. And finally, don't overlook immersive technologies like virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR. They're being deployed all through the automotive life cycle now. They're used in car design and manufacturing to visualize complex assemblies before building them physically, in employee training to simulate tricky repair processes safely, and even in vehicle sales and marketing. Imagine giving customers a truly immersive virtual test drive or letting them configure a car in AR right in their driveway.
It's incredible, really, to see how all these seemingly disparate innovations are actually converging and feeding off each other. So taking a step back now, how do all these things, the connectivity, the AI, the new manufacturing, how do they impact the overall driving experience, safety, and even the environment, maybe on a global scale?
If we try to connect all these dots, yeah, the impact is profound. The AI-powered ADAS features we discussed, for example, they're already demonstrably reducing accidents on the road, making driving safer for everyone involved. It's huge, and the widespread shift towards EVs and potentially e-fuels, all enabled by this advanced technology and battery software manufacturing, represents a massive environmental leap forward, significantly reducing tailpipe emissions. What's also fascinating, though, is how different regions seem to prioritize different aspects of this tech revolution.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, very generally speaking, Europe tends to push really hard for robust safety features and finding ways to seamlessly integrate vehicles into dense urban environments. Think smart city connectivity. North America's focus, historically at least, has often been on larger vehicles with more luxurious tech experiences inside the cabin. Bigger screens, better infotainment, more comfort features. And Asia, particularly China, as we mentioned, is really leading the charge in the rapid adoption of both EVs and connected services. They're pushing the boundaries of what's possible at scale very, very quickly.
This has been an incredible conversation of tech unstripped, really. It brings it all together so clearly. It's just undeniable that the automotive sector is experiencing these truly disruptive, almost generational changes, making vehicles far, far more than just a means of getting from A to B.
Indeed. I mean, the most prominent trends we've discussed, the ongoing march of electrification in its various forms, that pervasive connectivity, the sustained growth of mobility as a service, the continuous advancement in safety, and the widespread application of these foundational technologies like AI, 5G, 3D printing, immersive tech. These are not just trends for 2025. They are absolutely set to continue shaping the future of mobility for decades to come. They're creating an entirely new landscape, really, for how we interact with our cars, and maybe even how we think about our journeys altogether.
So thinking about all that, what does this all mean for you listening right now the next time you step into a vehicle or maybe even consider taking a trip without owning one? How might this future of accessible, individualized, and digitally integrated mobility fundamentally redefine your own personal freedom and maybe even your relationship with the open road? Thank you so much for sticking with us on this unstripping. Join us next time as we zoom in on the everyday tech that has become indispensable in our lives. As always, don't forget to subscribe on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from.